ELI5. Why is it so difficult for us to just replicate a bird instead of the kind of fixed-wing aircraft we have? Flapping bird wings are kind of inefficient. They're great for picking yourself off the ground, but require a lot of energy to keep going. Larger birds, which are still small and light compared to an airplane, achieve flight easier by riding updrafts in the air and gliding with very little flapping at all. This is what the fixed-wing aircraft replicates. This has added benefits of less turbulence, with the plane not being pushed up by the periodic addition of lift. Number one reason is there is no need to. The mechanics and engineering behind a pivoting wing that is also supporting of the weight needed would be complex. Also, the thrust provided wouldn't compare to that of modern engines, so more complex with more things to go wrong for less benefit. One thing that hasn't been mentioned either is that the wing shape of a plane airfoil does in fact replicate, is very similar to a bird's wing in cross-section. We build with metal. It's much easier to build static wings and spinning engines. Birds build with bone and muscle. For them it's easier to build things that stretch and retract. The hydraulics to move those flight surfaces and all those failure points would make it a nightmare to maintain, and you'll still be slower than jet propulsion. It's not that it's difficult. We realized early on that mimicking birds wasn't the way to go. Continuous thrust and non-moving wings are more efficient and simpler. A machine that flies like a bird is called an ornithopter. https en.wikipedia.org/wiki/ornithopter. And they already exist as to why they aren't used more often. They add way too much complexity, and are way less efficient than fixed-wing aircraft. As others have noted, many larger birds actually emulate fixed-winged aircraft when gliding, as they use thermal air currents to fly for extended periods without flapping their wings, as flapping their wings uses way more energy. Animals may have some very advanced designs guided by millions of years of evolution. Not one of them has ever evolved a wheel. If a bird had a key engine to generate wind for it, it wouldn't need to flap either. It could just glide like a plane. Our planes are just better at doing what they are designed for than a hinged wing, and I suspect if you tried it there would be huge forces on the joints and it would probably break. What we have is more energy efficient. Also we are heavy and fleshy, and all of our stuff that we fly around with us is heavy and cumbersome. Haha. Bird wings are great for making a lot of constant adjustments and sharp turns and quick ups, downs. Planes don't really need that, and need efficiency and reliability more. Just like a bird that is gliding for a long distance won't move its wings too much to maximize lift and reduce energy use. A plane's straight wing design works well for our long distance travel, and in fact looks quite similar to a bird's straightened out wing. Materials. Birds can be relatively lightweight. People are relatively dense, as are our things. Flapping causes damage buildup. Birds repair themselves over time. Like any animal, we have to control all those surfaces. Feathers. It's easier to use the principles they use to glide, where they lock their wings, and do the same thing, but with thrust. Birds are crazy light. Their bones are hollow. They don't have any tissue they don't need, etc. People are just too dense to fly the way birds do. Bird wings are extremely complex and intricate, with many axes of movement. Until recently, we couldn't even build something that flew like a bird. Compare that to airplane wings, which are pretty simple. We were reliably building them over 100 years ago. Why is it so difficult for a bird to just carry 400 people and their bags across the Atlantic? The heavier something is, the harder it has to fight against gravity. So massive, heavy wings would not be able to flap quickly enough to get the plane into the air. Moving parts are difficult. They wear out quickly. With a big wing you have a lot of leverage on the hinge. Mechanically it is stronger and better for maintenance if the joint to the fuselage is fixed. Wings are just there for thrust, but once birds catch an airstream then glide like a plane. RC ornithopters are a thing. Some are small and lightweight. Others have a 3-foot or more wingspan. https www.youtube.com/watch v = pn5ppy9bx3w https www.youtube.com/watch v = pn5ppy9bx3w. The video is 10 years old, but a good example of a RC ornithopter. Here is a small newer one. https www.youtube.com/watch v = sclvuchywq https www.youtube.com/watch v = sclvuchywq and #x200b. They are both fun to fly, but the smaller one is easier. No setup. I believe that if a bird accelerated to the sound barrier, there would be a puff with feathers everywhere. Why would you want to? We don't, because fixed-wing aircraft is better. See the moving parts of animals, like joints, constantly repair, lubricate, and realign themselves. For one thing, trying to make this a less technical description, we have a long way to go in materials science before we can build things much larger than birds, that are bendy enough, yet still controllable. Even when we get there, it's still an incredibly hard optimization problem to control these surfaces so they're maximally efficient. Nature is pretty much incredible. Bird bones are hollow to allow the wings to be able to provide enough lift. When you add weight in the form of people, luggage and fuel, you have to have a design that produces a lot more lift than a flapping wing could produce. Don't forget to share, like and subscribe for more content.